Your cat has been doing something every single day since your baby arrived, something deliberate, something ancient, and you've probably been watching it happen without ever understanding what it actually means. Most people look at a cat near a baby and see a potential problem, a risk to manage, something to watch carefully. But what if everything your cat has been doing around your baby has never been a threat? What if it has always been the opposite? By the end of this video, you're going to see your cat differently, not as a risk, as a guardian. Let's be honest about what you've been through. From the moment people found out you were pregnant and had a cat, the warnings started. Keep the cat out of the baby's room. Don't let them near the crib. Cats are jealous. Cats are unpredictable. Some people told you to rehome them before the baby even arrived, and you didn't. You stayed. You chose to believe that the animal who had been sleeping next to you, following you through every hard night of your pregnancy, was not suddenly going to become a danger to your child. That instinct you had was right, and today, science is going to prove it. Because your cat hasn't just been tolerating your baby, they have been actively, deliberately, instinctively protecting them. In ways so subtle, you've been missing them every single day. Here are the 7 things your cat does to protect your baby without you ever realizing it. 1. They patrol the baby's room. Have you noticed your cat sitting outside the nursery door? Or positioning themselves just inside the room, near the crib, completely still? Most mothers assume the cat is just curious or trying to get comfortable in a new space. But that stillness is not rest. It is surveillance. In feral cat colonies, certain members of the group take on a watchful role during vulnerable periods. They position themselves at entry points, they monitor movement, they stay alert so others can rest. This behavior is so deeply wired into cats that it doesn't disappear in a domestic environment. It simply redirects. Your baby is now the most vulnerable member of your cat's colony, and your cat has assigned themselves the role of first alert. That quiet presence near the crib isn't intrusion, it's duty. Every time your cat sits at the threshold of that room, they are telling you, without a single sound, that they are watching so you don't have to. 2. They position themselves between your baby and the door. This one is so subtle that almost no one notices it. Next time your cat is in the same room as your baby, look at where they choose to sit. More often than not, they are not beside the baby. They are between the baby and the main entry point of the room. That placement is not accidental. It is strategic. Animal behaviorists who study feline protection behavior have documented this positioning pattern consistently in cats with strong attachment bonds. The cat is not trying to be near the baby for warmth or comfort. They are creating a physical barrier between their most vulnerable family member and any potential threat that might come through that door. Your cat has no way of knowing that nothing dangerous is coming. Their instincts don't make that distinction. What they know is that something small and helpless is behind them, and they are the first line of response if anything changes. That is not a coincidence of where your cat decided to nap. That is a decision. 3. They alert you before you hear the baby cry. Think back to the last few weeks. Has your cat ever come to find you acting restless or unusual right before your baby started crying? Maybe they jumped on the bed. Maybe they paced. Maybe they meowed at you in a way that felt different from their usual sounds. You probably thought it was unrelated. It wasn't. Cats can hear frequencies far beyond the range of human hearing. A newborn's breathing patterns, the small sounds of stirring, the shift in movement that happens in the seconds before a cry begins. Your cat picks up on all of it before it ever reaches your ears. Studies on feline auditory sensitivity have confirmed that cats can detect distress sounds at distances and frequencies that are completely inaudible to humans. Your cat has been acting as a baby monitor with 4 legs. Every time they came to get you before you knew your baby needed you, they weren't being anxious or needy. They were doing their job. The job they gave themselves the moment your baby came home. 4. They purr near your baby on purpose. And if this is already changing the way you think about your cat, hit like and subscribe. This is how we reach more moms who need to hear this. You've probably seen your cat settle near your baby and start purring, maybe on the floor beside the bassinet, maybe at the foot of the bed during a feed. And you probably thought it was just your cat being calm and comfortable. But a cat's purr is not a passive sound. It is an active tool. Research published in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science has shown that cat purring frequencies, which range between 25 and 150 hertz, have measurable physiological effects on nearby living beings. Those frequencies are associated with reduced cortisol levels, lower heart rate, and decreased anxiety responses in both humans and animals. Your cat purring near your baby is not coincidence. On some level, wired into their biology, they are producing a frequency that calms, that regulates, that tells the nervous system of every living thing nearby that the environment is safe. Your baby has been receiving that signal from your cat since the very first days, and their nervous system has been responding to it without either of you knowing. 5. They sleep lightly when the baby sleeps. Cats can sleep up to 16 hours a day. That is not laziness. That is biology. They are built to conserve energy in short bursts, so they are ready to move at any moment. But bonded, cats with young babies in the home show a documented change in their sleep behavior. They sleep lighter. They startle more easily. They position themselves in ways that allow them to move quickly if something changes. Researchers studying domestic cat behavior in family environments have noted that cats with newborns in the home display higher baseline alertness during the baby's sleep periods compared to their behavior before the baby arrived. Their rest cycles shorten. Their response time decreases. Your cat is not sleeping less because the baby is disturbing them. They are sleeping less because they have made a choice, buried deep in their instincts, to stay ready. Ready for what? Their wiring doesn't fully specify, but the answer it keeps returning to is the same one it always returns to. Ready for you, ready for the baby, ready for whatever comes next. 6. They keep other animals away from the baby. If you have more than one pet in the house, watch what happens when another animal gets too close to your baby. Watch your cat, because chances are they have already established a boundary you never asked them to create. Cats who bond with a baby will often position themselves as a buffer between that baby and other animals in the home, not aggressively, not dramatically, but consistently. A look, a shift in posture, a slow movement that places their body between the baby and the other animal. This is territorial behavior redirected toward protection. The same instinct that leads a cat to defend their sleeping space now extends to defending the smallest and most helpless member of their family. They are not being controlling or difficult. They are doing what bonded colony members do. They are managing access to the vulnerable one. You may have seen this and thought your cat was being antisocial or jealous. They weren't. They were working, quietly, consistently, and completely on their own terms. 7. They stay close during the moments you are most stressed. The hardest moments of early motherhood are not the ones anyone warns you about. It is the 4 a.m. feed when you are running on nothing, the afternoon when the baby won't stop crying and you don't know why, the moment when the fear of doing something wrong becomes almost too loud to bear. In those moments, where is your cat? If you pay attention, you will find them closer than usual, not demanding anything, not asking to be petted or fed, just present, within reach, sometimes pressed against your leg, sometimes sitting nearby and watching you with that slow, steady gaze that somehow feels like the calmest thing in the room. This is not a coincidence. Studies on feline emotional attunement have confirmed that cats can detect elevated cortisol and shifts in human behavior associated with stress and anxiety. When your nervous system is overwhelmed, your cat feels it. And their response, in almost every documented case with a bonded cat, is to move closer. They cannot fix what is wrong. They know that, but they position themselves as a physical reminder that you are not alone, that someone in that house, small and quiet and completely devoted to you, is there. has always been there and is not going anywhere. You stayed. Through the warnings and the pressure and the fear, you chose your cat. And your cat, in every way their biology and their instincts allow, has been choosing you and your baby back every single day since. They didn't read a book on how to protect a newborn. They didn't need one. Something ancient and unshakable inside them looked at your baby and said, "This one is mine to watch over." That cat sitting near the crib, purring at the foot of the bed, positioning themselves at the door, they are not a risk you managed. They are a guardian you were lucky enough to already have. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you noticed your cat doing any of these things? Which one surprised you the most? I read every single one.